Wanted to get an opportunity to say hello to everyone as we officially embark upon 2021. But I wanted to kind of uh, make this public service announcement. I want to salute each and every one of you who've been with us uh, throughout 2020. I want to salute each and every one of you for taking the time out to embrace this skill set and really, really appreciate what you've been able to do. The success that each and every one of you have had is just simply amazing. I know this experience has been new to many of you, but to be able to, for each and every one of you, be able to navigate through historical times when it comes to the market. And so often, I don't care where you are, you have to salute and appreciate yourself for staying the course and embracing the process. So I'm extremely grateful for each and every one of you as the Byob Bank movement, specifically vision, mission to financially educate and impact 1 million families. And I just wanted to take the liberty tonight to celebrate each and every one of you for understanding how important it is for you to take the voyage, this crusade alongside with us. And then I definitely want to say thank you to my esteemed colleagues and business partners uh, tonight for what they've been able to do, the energy, the passion that they have in the likes of our very own trade whisperer self, Ms. Tasha M. Dyer. Tremendously grateful. And I tell people all the time the most valuable asset that you could possibly have as a leader is truly the people that God would entrust you with. And I've been graced to be able to have two pillars in the likes of Ms. Tasha M. Dyer and the finance doctor himself, Dr. Craig Bythewood. And when I think about what we've been able to do, 40 plus calls per month between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. And then our BYB market talks, and I'll talk with the finance doctor. And they truly do it out of the depths of their heart as true servants to serve you and your family, and knowing that there's nothing other than the joy that they both have and we all have of seeing your families changed and the impact that you're having. So I wanted to salute each and every one of you. I wanted to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone. But I am tremendously inspired even the more because for you and your family. And it's going to always be our heartbeat, our mindset is that, no one is going to outserve us. No one is going to outserve us. And you want to see the epitome of leadership, how much you're willing to serve who you've been called to serve. And then the most important thing is understanding systematically no one is bigger than the system, and we all win when we commit to the process and never have to be afraid of anyone other than yourself being responsible for bringing the best effort of yourself daily. So once again, I wanted to say thank you from the depths of my heart for each and every one of you, because when I look at what's happening, and obviously I see lives are being changed, and it just it's just a very humbling experience to know when we first kicked this campaign off and we made a declaration, and many of you in 2018 were going about your business, but God so fit to allow you to be a part of our lives. And once again, I want to say thank you for each and every one of you, for you give me a reason to want to keep moving forward, to take it to the next dimension, to serve even at a greater capacity. So I say thank you to each and every one of you. So I'm going to turn this call over to Miss Dyer. But once again, I want to publicly thank uh, you all, and then the people who God has given me to walk alongside with in the embodiment of Miss Tasha M. Dyer and Dr. Craig Bythewood. So for both of you, I wanted everyone listening to know how much I appreciate you. And because of you, I am a better person. So I salute each and every one of you.
Yes, good evening, good evening, good evening. You all just heard from the visionary himself. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm excited here this evening. So, yes, to you also, Mr. Rogers, because it's your vision that has brought this movement forward. So, we thank you for that as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you are logging in this evening, you want to make sure you drop it in the chat where you're calling in from. You definitely want to make sure you do that along with your affirmations. And so, as you do that, as we gear up for this evening, once again, my name is Tasha M. Dye, the Trade Whisperer, creator of the BYOB Cash Out Strategy. And as you all know, that this is the last call of the year. This is the last call of the year. So, yes, but that does not mean it's the last day you trade. And so, what we want to do tonight is we are going to empower you with the understanding of the power of the BYOB cash out strategy. Now, of course, it is a tools night, so I'm going to be utilizing tools as well. And, definitely going to do that so you can be empowered as you go forward to close out the year very strong. Now, here we are. All right. Just want to acknowledge, just kind of drop it in the chat. I'm not going to call everybody out. We're already into it, but I just want to say good evening. We are BYOB Worldwide. We have Florida, the Bahamas, we're in Ohio, multiple cities in Ohio. I see North Carolina, Minnesota. I see London and Georgia. So, yes, we definitely want to make sure that each and every last one of you are recognized as we facilitate this BYOB worldwide. So definitely. So Illinois. So yes, just Florida is strong. Ohio is strong. So I mean, just good evening to each and every last one of you all. Tennessee. So just everyone that's around here, Michigan. So we just want New Jersey. So just everyone, every last one of you all, good evening, good evening, good evening. And so now let's talk about those affirmations. Now I am expecting to still see affirmations. I'm expecting to still see you all walking in an energy that you have brought forth all year. I'm looking for whether you just got started today. Today could be day one, and you still need to walk in those affirmations, even if it is your day one. Now, also, if it is day, how what 365, whatever it is, you need to walk in that power because you made a decision. And I want you to understand how significant that decision is. You made a destiny decision over your life. And so this is where you walk in. Am I committed or am I motivated? Am I committed or am I motivated? Because motivation comes, it goes, it wears off. But your commitment to your family, your commitment. So, yes, your commitment is what's going to move you forward. So, no, I do not believe in New Year's resolutions because that's just motivation. That's a time where we motivate ourselves to do something. And you notice they never stick. Nobody ever keeps them, they never stick. But yet, if you're committed to a process, you're committed to something, then that's what's going to evolve you and change your life. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what we're here today. So, let's commit to still being great. Let's commit to still affirming over our lives. I am a BYOB master trader. I am the signal. All my trades in profit. I am 777. Now add to it whatever you commit to yourself, add to it, but do not take away from it. And so let's go ahead and get started here this evening. So as we get started here this evening, if this is your first time here with us, let me get a 111 in the chat. Let me get a 111. And if you are still learning how to cash out, let me get a 222. Let me get a 222. All right, so let's see. Welcome back. Welcome and welcome back to each and every last one of you all. Welcome and welcome back. So Yes, we are so excited here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my screen shared together. And you all continue to drop in the chat. There are many of you all that just joined us. So please continue to drop it in the chat as you're logging on. Drop it in the chat as you're logging on, where you're calling in from, your affirmations. And once again, if you are new to the call, this is your first call with us, I need you to drop that 111 in the chat. And if you are still learning how to cash out, drop a 222. Okay. So just bear with me. You all know, for those of you all been on the call, you all know that my Zoom updated. We put Zoom on my affirmations. Do not forget. Zoom goes, and y'all pray for me with Zoom. So when we bring the new year in, when we come back in the new year, that we definitely do not have any Zooms. So we're gonna affirm that as well. So let's talk about the BYOB cash out strategy, okay? Let's talk about the BYOB cash out strategy. Now, with the BYOB cash out strategy, it's really 3 simple indicators. And I really want you all to have that clarity tonight. Okay. I really want you all to have that clarity tonight. So it is, and that's what we're going to walk you through. So we have the stochastic, we have a Hikanashi candle, and we have a PSAR. Let's do it again. You have a stochastic, have a Hikanashi candle, and you have a PSAR. One more time. A stochastic, a Hikanashi candle, and a PSAR. That's it. It's 3 simple indicators, okay? It is 3 simple indicators. That's really all it is. Now, but this will help you understand when you take a trade and when to not take a trade. We've been setting a foundation. We've talked about your trading plan. We've talked about logging and journaling, and even gave you your electronic accounts, helping you set that up. So for those of you all who actually went back and set that up, let me get a 555 in the chat. Just let me get a 555 in the chat. That you set up your My FX book. You set it up. You set it up. You set it up. There it is. All right. Now I know it's helping, right? I know it's helping. So let me get a 777, because 777 means take profit. So let me get a 777 if it's actually opened your eyes and it's helping you. It just period. I even got a yes 777. So I love it. Look at all those 777s coming through there. Now, that's why we're done it. That's why we're doing it. That's why we're doing it, because we're creating that foundation. Now we are committing to ourselves. We're making a commitment to our excellence. We're making a commitment to be great. We're making a commitment to be BYOB wealthy traders. So BYOB wealthy traders. You are a BYOB wealthy master trader. That is what you are. So we're going to add that wealth to it, because this is not a hobby. We are professionals end in profit. Okay. Professionals walk away with money. People who do things for a hobby, you just do it. You're just hanging out. And that's not what we're here for. We love hanging out with you guys. We love you guys, but we're not here just to hang out. We're here to be wealthy. That's what we're here for, to generate that. And so that comes first with that commitment to yourself. So it's not something that myself, Mr. Rogers, or Dr. Bytewood, it's not something we give you. It's something you bring to the table. So let's go ahead and get started here this evening. So that blue line cross over the red in an upward momentum. All right, blue line cross over the red in an upward momentum. You have your blue line cross over the red in a downward momentum. So this is our stochastic. This is our stochastic. This is our leading indicator. Now, our Hikanashi candles. You're looking for a red candle with a flat top, PSAR flip to the top for a sale. All right, that's what we're looking for. Now for a buy, I'm looking for a green candle with a flat bottom, PSAR flip to the bottom for a buy. Now, let's look at this sale. So let's look at this sale. Let's do our time frame confluence and everything with this sale. Blue line cross over the red and downward momentum. Red candle with a flat top, PSAR flip to the top, okay? Let's go ahead and I'm gonna put an arrow on here because we're looking in the past. When you're trading, please don't drop arrows on your chart. That's not really what you wanna do. You want to maximize your trading time. And if you're stopping to draw arrows, you're stopping to do that, then you're impacting your pip reaction time. Because when you're looking at the market, this is what you see. You see nothing but space and opportunity. So this is what you see. So now, blue line cross over the red and the downward momentum, red candle with a flat top. You see where my cross, you see I'm over here to the side, but I want you underneath that arrow. PSR flip to the top. Now, what I need to do is go to my hour. All right. When I go to my hour, when I look at my hour, it needs to look like it's setting up. So you notice that I do have a red candle. Yes, it's wicking out everywhere, but it's a red candle. And you can see that. And my stochastic is even beginning to pull down into that sell, that blue line cross over the red. So we know with that I'm looking towards a sell. Now I come down here to my 5 minute. Each one of these are important, and you will see that in just a moment. Each one of these are very important. So that blue line cross over the red and downward momentum. Now look what's happening. My 5 minute needs to still be selling. Do you notice that we're still selling? We're still selling. Let me make it wide for you so you can see. So it's no like, I don't want to, oh, it's a little candle. No, look, it's still selling. That's what needs to be happening. So when we come back over here, we know that we had a trade. Now you take this trade, you do your 10 pips and cash out, or you stop at that first support and resistance line, which is about right here, right? That first out right here where I am. Now, if I'm going to take a trade further than that, there needs to be some alignment. There needs to be, like you see, I have that nice solid red candle that came about during the duration of that. And then also, look right here. I probably would have stopped right there. Okay. When I look here on a higher time frame, look what's happening. But what I also want to point out is that you always get asked the question, well, how do I know if I can keep going? Or, you look at the higher time frames. What are they doing? Like we just did right now. But the market is not moving at a fast pace. It's not going 80 miles an hour. So you will have time to make those adjustments. Yes, sometimes the market does rally, like Bitcoin did, and the GBPs did after, so sometimes we get rallies, but the normal tone, the more normal sentiment of the market is you have that impulse, correction, continuation, correction, continuation. So as you develop your relationship with the market, you will be able to do that. Now, for those of you all who are not yet able to draw support and resistance lines, I challenge you over the holidays, starting tonight, tomorrow, for you to go to our playlist on the YouTube channel, The Market Structure. And there is some support and resistance line training on there. So you definitely want to go to that. And because your support and resistance is your lifeline, we're going to get a little bit more in depth as we come back for the new year. So I just kind of want to highlight that. So I definitely want to highlight that. So we're setting that foundation right now. So let's look at, when I say taking some trades, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how some of the tools. So tonight we're going to look at, we already looked at the harmonic scanner in depth. This is a harmonic scanner trade. As you can see, it did not even hit take profit one. But I'm going to talk to you about why you wouldn't have been in that trade. But I'm also going to talk to you about swipe coins and swipe trades. That's another product that comes with IM, is a swipe coin and a swipe trade. So we'll talk about that as well and show you how and why you want to bring everything back over here to the vibrato, line it up, and determine if you take your trade or not. So now, what am I looking at? We're on an hour. This harmonic scanner trade was on the hour. Now, what am I seeing? Blue line cross over the red, absolutely. Red candle with a flat top, PSR flip to the top, absolutely, okay? Now, let's check my confluence. My confluence, I do have a red candle, and even, let me just go ahead and put this here. My stochastic began to curve down. So on a 4 hour, now it's really not a strong, do I need to move that to the side? You see, that's really not a strong candle, but once again, is it confluence? It's confluence. So, but let's go down to the 5 minute, because what I know that happens based on some of the questions I get, you all don't think that 5 minute part of that confluence is important, and it is. So let's go down to the 5 minute. When I come down to the 5 minute, If I can find it. Let me see. Where would we have taken this? Hold on. It was something. Is this even the right? Hold on. So when I come down here, when I look, and I need to get rid of this. So you're in that zone. And in this zone, and I'm sorry, it should be the 15. I'm like, we trading on a what you call it. So when I come here, yes, I'm still selling. But when I look here, down here, because it's a tighter entry, this is why I always tell you guys why you have to check, why you have to come back, why you need to understand your support and resistance, and where you need to be able to see them. So I see a support and resistance line right here, okay? And I'm gonna change the color of it. And I just want, I'm gonna change the color of it because I want you all to see, and let me do a different blue. When I tell you I don't blindly take those, I don't blindly do it, I don't blindly do it. So these are the Fibonacci's, okay? These are Fibonacci's, support and resistance. That's what they are. These are the fibs. So understanding that these are Fibonacci's, when you look at it, we're talking about support and resistance. Do you see that there's another one right here? Now, when we went to this 4 hour, I don't like this candle. I don't, and that's why I said some of you all would have been like, some of you all might not have. So hold on. All right, so here we go. Now, looking at this, all right? Now look at where we are with this candle. We're just at the crossover. Now, let me tell you something about how things look in the past, okay? Let me tell you a little something about how things look in the past. So looking at this, like when we looked at this candle, now this could have been green. It's 4 hours. It's 4 hours. So this type of candle could have been green and just closed. So we don't know if this had crossed over in the midst of that time frame or not. This candle is 4 hours. So remember, we're looking in the past. But for a candle to be going for 4 hours, and this is what it looks like, and this is what that so right there, you all are playing musical mics. I keep muting you all. So now when I see this, you can definitely see that would you have really wanted to jump in that trade? So this is where we're always coming back. We're talking about, let me see, we're always coming back. We're talking about it breaking that trend line. So you can draw that trend line if you want. So on the higher time frames, I want you to do a little bit more analysis. However, you had a trade opportunity on the 15. When you look at that trade opportunity on the 15, so you still look at it from that perspective, you caught it to that first support and resistance line. So that's why it ended here and then turned around and came back up. So did that bring clarity? Because I know I dropped down to the 5 minute first because we're so used to starting 15 hour 5, and I just want to make sure I don't need to go over this again. So if anybody has any questions or comments, drop it in the chat, because if I need to run through that one more time, I will. Because I just want to make sure you all have clarity on that. All right, so you can come back to that 15 minute and you will take the trade. They always stop at the first support or resistance line. We do not push it forward. So when I come here, matter of fact, let me show you what I mean by that 4 hour. Let me just break down that 4 hour. So in that same space, this is where we don't touch it, right? You never see us pull up these hours, but I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna just want to show you something, okay? So you can see 2 hour. You see, I didn't even look at this. 3 hour, look like, now look what's happening. See, this candle is every 3 hours. So I know for a fact that that candle, that 4 hour candle, I already know for a fact that it had some green in it before it started pulling down red toward the end, just by looking at that 3 hour candle. So you say one more time. Okay, one more time, just because I know I dropped down. So I just want to make sure we have full clarity on this. Now, the trade was called. So the trade was called, and it's actually right here on the hour. Okay, let me take this off because I know this is in the way. And now let me move this arrow down here So we'll do it this way. So one more time, like I said, I know I dropped down. So right here on this hour, okay, blue line cross over the red and downward momentum. Red candle with a flat top, PSR flip to the top, okay? This is where the trade is, okay? This is where that trade is. We go to the 4 hour. We go to the 4 hour. When we go up for my confluence on a 4 hour, you see this candle. Now, this is 4 hours for one candle. What I do know from trading for a while is the fact that right now, when it closed, what you're seeing is when a candle closed. But if you ever have watched a 4 hour candle develop and manifest, then you can see how the candle moves and you know how they actually grow. You're watching it because it's 4 hours. It's not 15 minutes. It's not an hour. It's a 4 hour candle. So you actually see that. So this could have possibly been green. It just happened to close red because I mean, look at the candle. You know, you look at how it actually moved all the way up here. So it entered right here at the top of where this body is. It comes down, it goes up. This just happened to be where it closed, and that happened in 4 hours. I'm explaining that to you just because of the fact of, you know, looking like a little doji, just because of what it looks like. And then now you see this is dead on the crossover. So you notice that if you've ever watched the stochastic, that the stochastic will pull like this, you know, this is a new 4 hour candle and this, it might be here and we've seen that it'll actually pull up. So it's a strong possibility this even wasn't pulling down until to that last hour. So we don't know. We just don't know. Now, when I drop down, right, to my 15 minute, I drop down to my 15 minute and you see my 15 needs to still be selling. The 15 has to still be selling. Technically, it is. Technically, it does. Well, this trade was called on an hour. So when you're saying that everything still relates to the 4 hour, this trade was called on an hour. So we analyzed on an hour. So my time frame confluence for a 1 hour trade is the 4 hour and the 15. So that's why we have to use the 4 hour. Now, when we're doing the other trades that we look at, those other trades actually take place because of, you know, we look at the higher time frame to understand where we are in the market. And that's what we went over on Tuesday, is understanding where you are in the market, always understanding where you are in the market. And so tonight, what we're doing is just really helping you see. So I had to use that 4 hour because I was trading on an hour. So that 4 hour was important. But like I said, I wasn't very comfortable with that 4 hour candle. And I just explained to you why. So I just wasn't. Now, some of you all might be okay with this, and that's okay. Now, if you're okay with it, but it all depends on what it looked like. That's why I spent so much time on it, because it all depends on what it looked like it was 4 hours. So a part of that time it was green. It's obvious it was green because if you enter around here, the top, you know, you have the body of the candle, which is the fat part. If you enter around here, the wick is the highest it went. This part of the wick is the lowest that it went. So we know it was green because it couldn't have entered here and it went up to here. So we know for a fact that it was green some of that time. It's just how much of the time. We know it came down all the way down here. But at the end of the day, when it closed, it was here to here. Doesn't mean it will take no. It does not mean it will take an hour. It means that each candle is an hour. So whatever happens in that hour, whatever happens in that 4 hour, that's what happens. So understanding that, though, now that is actually in the academy when you're understanding, but you each, like here on the minute chart, each candle is a minute. On the 5 minute, each candle is 5 minutes. On the 15, each candle is 15 minutes. So that's what the time frame is. So no matter what, whether I have a nice fat candle like this, that happened in 4 hours. I have a little bitty candle like this where, you know, this happened in 4 hours. So that's all the movement that we got in the market. And that's what type of movement we had in the market during those 4 hours. That's what the candles mean. So now when we come down to the 15, you can see that the 15 is coming back because we had some correction right there. So it's starting to sell again. And even look at, you know, even looking at right here, look at my stochastic right here, how my stochastic is starting to pull back up. That's what I meant about the 5 minute being important. So that's what I meant about it being important. So personally, I didn't take this trade earlier. I just didn't. I didn't take the trade. So, but what I was saying is, if you would have taken it on the 15, right? If you would have taken it on the 15, you would have gotten in somewhere back here. And if you would have taken it on the 15, you would have traded to the first support and resistance line. That's what you would have done. You notice we did not hit that take profit. What I'm explaining to you is why we didn't hit that take profit. So this is why. Now, if you have those types of questions, long term, how do you get in and out? You want to stay to the 15-minute chart. You want to master those 10 pips and cash out, or master trading to that first support resistance line before you start trying to trade on the higher time frames. On the higher time frames, this is why we teach from the 15. This is why we begin on the 15. The higher time frames, you want to get consistent on the, you want to get really, really consistent. Now, the higher time frames, you need to understand more market structure. Is really no way around that, because your take profits are support and resistance lines. Your take profit are support and resistance lines. So on the higher time frames, it's not a 10 pips, it's not a 50 pips, it's not 30 pips, it's not. Your take profit is support and resistance. You need to understand some market structure and being able to say, oh, well, I'm looking over here, so that's as far as I'm gonna go, or I'm looking here, that's as far as I'm gonna take it to. You have to be able to understand that some market structure, support and resistance, if you're trading on the higher time frames. It is absolutely no way around that. None. So, all right, that's why we start 15-minute chart, 10 pips, cash out. Support and resistance line. Everybody can get in with 10 pips. So, but you always want to advance and master the skill set. You always want to advance from here. You always do. Now, when I come here, let's talk about some swipe trades, okay? Now, there were 3 trades called today. There were 3 trades. So you should have the swipe trades app. The swipe trades is part of I Am Mastery Academy. And same login credentials if you have never opened it. So right around here is where that trade was called. So now this is our same markup. That's why I just left it on here. I think I took the pivots off. Let me take the pivots off. So I don't want it to look like a coloring book for you guys. But this is where that trade was called. And this trade was actually called for a sale. Now, this was called, let me see, it actually called it on the 30-minute chart. Let me go to the 30-minute chart. So looking at this, you guys know we would have been on the 15 on an hour. That's where we always trade from. But either way, looking at this from right here, we would not have taken a trade. Now, confluence, where do you even get your confluence? It would be on one of these in the middle here, okay? Because it's always a factor of 4, 5, or 6. So you always you're always looking at a factor of 4, 5, or 6. Now, so as I'm looking at this, let me see here. I told you guys pray for my Zoom. So as I'm looking at this, you can see that what I have right here is I'm going to come up to the 15. Let's go to the 15 and we'll come to the hour. So looking at the 15, you all know that we trade to support and resistance lines. So, but I'm just going to talk about what they gave. So they gave a take profit down here. All right. They gave a take profit down here. 190. Yep. It's right here on this yellow line. So this was the take profit. And this is why you are the signal. I'm just highlighting why you are the signal, but I'm also, if you use the tools, you can still identify trades. So you want to be empowered to be able to utilize all of the tools, okay? You want to be empowered. You want to know how to use all the tools that we have, but you also want to know if I take a trade or not. So let's look at this. If I'm on a 15, so blue line cross over the red, it crossed back here, red candle with a flat top, PSR flip to the top. Where are we going on the 15-minute chart? We're going to the very first support and resistance line. So we would have taken profit right here. Our take profit would not have been down here. Now, if I come up here to trade on the hour, we would have never taken a trade up here. Blue line crossed over the red in downward momentum. Red candle, where's my flat top? Where's my flat top? And it's consolidated right here. So where's my flat top? PSR flip, absolutely. But where's my flat top? We don't have it. So, and then let's talk about the stop loss. Stop loss. We got asked a question just the other day about risk reward ratio and that, right? That's what we got to ask. So if I'm looking at this, all right, and I'm coming down here, that's 100 points. Come back here. So this is like a 1-for-1 that they did. But where's my stop loss? Where's our stop loss? Our stop loss is above the PSR, just not on the PSR. So our stop loss would have been here. And so what we do is we don't guess it. Now I understand, and I'm not saying it's like a guess, because there are systematic ways that people find the stop loss, the way that they trade, you know, understanding that. But you see the simplicity of allowing the market to tell you where the stop loss is. That's the simplicity of allowing the market. The PSR, the market is telling you where it's at. Now, right before this call, maybe about 5 minutes before this call, there was an alert to close it. So it's not a trade that was won. It's an alert to close it. But if I'm looking at this now, you know, if I'm looking at this now, I have a blue, you know, the blue line cross over the red, and it, you see it came out of the correction. So I have a red candle with a flat top, PSR flip. Let me go to my 4-hour. Now this just happened at the time of the call, so I'm just coming to look at it now. You know, once again, you see how this one at the beginning of these four, well, we got about 22 minutes left, but you see how this one is a lot fatter than that other one and everything else. I'm not telling you to jump in it at this moment, but you can kind of see the difference in this candle and the one that we were analyzing before. And so if I drop down to my 15, so I know in the mornings we'll get on the indices and we'll be in and out, but if you drop down to the 15, you can see how this has been selling. You can definitely see how this has been selling. So even if you get an alert from there, you want to bring it back here so you determine how and when you take your trades. You are the signal. You determine how and when you take your trades. So even if I would have traded on a 15-minute chart, blue line cross over the red in a downward momentum, look at where we got a flat top candle, come to my hour. I come to my hour. I think I'm going to my hour. Look, I have a nice red candle. It's moving downwards. I come to my 5-minute. Come to my 5-minute. It's still selling. Where am I taking this trade to? Where am I taking this trade to? Anybody, drop it in the chat. Where am I taking this trade to? See if y'all listening to me tonight. Can you hear me? Okay, all right. I'm like, we're gonna sit here, we will sit here, and we will back it up. We will back it up. Thank you. It could just be a delay. I told you my Zoom is just, ugh. All right. So you can definitely see exactly. So now you see that even though the way they called the trade is different than the way we trade, but yet it identified an area. We do our own analysis because you are the signal, and you literally just took a trade. You literally just took a trade and almost, it's 45 points, maybe a little bit above that support line. So right up in there. So maybe around 45, 50 points you walked away with. But yet they closed the trade. They closed the trade. So I just want you to understand the power of being a signal, the power of you being a signal. So from this zone to this zone, we definitely could have taken profit. So definitely want you all to understand the power of you being a signal. And now look what's happening. When I drop down, you see that correction that always comes and it always happens. And just to kind of take it a step further, you see, look, it just triggered for a sale on a 5 minute. What did we just identify? So I'm just showing you how you use these tools collective together. So now we already know we traded from this zone to this zone. So now this just triggered for a sale on a 5 minute. Yeah, let's check our 30 minute. It comes out. It's, you see why it's triggering on our 30 minute. We already know what's happening on a higher time frame. So when it comes out of that correction, I guess we'll have some 777s in the chat on a training call. But hey, I guess that's the beauty of, that's the beauty of the last call of the year, right? So that's the beauty of it. So now let's come over here. This was another one. Now, this trade was a buy limit. Okay, this was a buy limit. This is another reason why you are the signal. Valid trade, okay? Valid trade. Now, they called it, I think it was a 30-minute time frame once again, but let's look at this. So whether I'm here, now this is what a buy limit means. Let me help you understand what a buy limit means. A buy limit means that this was that call price for that buy limit. A buy limit means that this trade has to drop down below this line, turn around, and come back up in order for it to activate. So we've discussed all of them actually, but a lot of times we talk about a buy stop, a sell stop. And once again, I don't know why they call them a stop. Okay, I didn't make it. You just need to notice what it is, because when you think stop, you think stop, but maybe it should be a buy go, or a sell go or something, because it means go. It means take the trade. That's when the trade will activate. Well, what a buy limit is saying that, okay, this is in a sale, it's in a sale, it's in a sale. It breaks down here, and then of course, but it's going to turn around. And that's normally you do something like that that's typically you do something like that when you're in a ranging environment or something like that. That's typically when you would do it, when we know it's ranging and you want it to come down and come back up. Now, right here, when you're looking at it, you definitely see where this particular trade would have taken profit, okay? That particular, it's right there. It would have taken profit. Valid trade. However, they did a buy limit, so it never activated. So they canceled the trade. Because it didn't activate. They just told them to cancel it. They missed it by a pip or so. Guess what? That's not our story. That's not who we are. You are BYOB Master Traders. So you are the signal. And because of that, you can look at this. That's the hour. We come over here on the 15-minute. And if I'm looking at this, blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum, right? And now I have a green candle with a flat top. PSR flip to the bottom. So yes, they missed it by a pip, but we don't miss it by a pip. So yes, you would have just done a market execution. You wouldn't have canceled your trade. You would have known how to take that trade. Absolutely. You would have done a market execution and you would have taken that trade. This is why you have to be the signal. This is why you are the signal. So now let me show you a swipe coin, because I still have, I'm looking at the time. I'll come back to this one if I can, but let me show you this. This was a swipe coin. Now, when I'm looking at this swipe coin, it went from here to here. So the take profit was here. Okay, the take profit was here. Take profit was here. And then they called it again from here to here, and this was a second take profit. So once again, going back to the question, swipe coins typically is swipe coins is for the cryptocurrency. That's just it. So you had that take profit here, and I'm gonna put this one right here. So that big gap right here was left in the middle, and then this was the second take profit. So this was TP2. Now, all TP1 and TP2 mean is I hit another support and resistance line. That's it. That's all it means. Take profits are support and resistance lines. That's what I really want to make sure you all understand. Take profits are support and resistance lines. So and you know why you know to say you could just ride the wave? Because you are a master trader. So because you are the signal. So instead of just blindly putting in trades, you actually would have come here. So this was one trade. This is where the other trade started. Take profit one, take profit two. So all this space and opportunity in this zone was not captured. So when you understand that from here, and we've done this training, and we'll do it again, which is fine. We'll train on it again. But that blue line cross over the red on that hour, and you check your confluence on everything, which you see is definitely in a buy. Now I like this candle. I really like this candle. And when I come down here and I check that 15, I check the 15. I check my 15, and you can definitely see that it's still, we might have moved over just a little bit, but it's still in that buy mode. So we might have moved over just because that's red right there. So we would have waited just a little bit, but it's still there. So even if I'm checking, taking a trade, we would have been able to capture all of this because we know to ride this up from here to here. We know to ride this up. So, well, it had a sell in it. It was a red candle, and that's why we had to move it over. So, but we know to ride this up. We know that as long as we have that full support, and as long as if I have confluence on my hour and my 4 hour, now that's a trade. You have confluence on an hour and a 4 hour, that's a trade. So this is our 4 hour. So look at this stochastic on this 4 hour. So we know that the correction that happened on the 15 is supposed to happen. But on this 4 hour, it's still moving up. So we would have taken that trade and we would have ridden the whole thing up to here. That's what we would have done. And once again, you have to know market structure because where did it close out at? Where did this trade close out before it stopped? Right here. So if you're going to trade on the higher time frames, once again, I have to know market structure. Once again, yes, it is beautiful. Once again, it works on everything. Once again, it does not matter what I'm trading. It matters that I understand. As you see, what we just talked about was currency pairs. It helped you take a trade. It helped you stay out of trade. We didn't talk about the one that helped you stay out of. This is this one. So this is this one. So, well, thank you for that comment. Thank you. So, but this one, we definitely rolled it all the way up. We rolled it and we checked it to the market structure. So help me get in a trade it helped me be in a signal, Byob cash out strategy. It helps me get in a trade for the currency pairs. It helps me stay out of trade for the currency pairs. I just took a trade on the cryptocurrency. It helps me with that. And then it also did it on Bitcoin. Now this is the one. This was a take profits down here. This was an entry point, and that was a take profit. So that's it. That's all the movement. And then there was another one for the entry point to take profit up here. So look at all of this that was left on the table. Look at all of this. Yes, exactly. That's why I'm showing it to you. Ding, ding, ding. You hit it on the head. The tools are extremely helpful for trade ideas, but you have to be the signal. So they're extremely helpful for identifying and trade ideas, absolutely. But you have to be the signal, right? You have to be the signal. That's what's important. So you have to be the signal. So you grasp the concept of tonight in its totality. So CAD JPY off of the hour was a sale, okay? Off of the hour was a sale from this blue line. Now looking at this, would you have even attempted to take this sale? Master traders, where are you at? Okay, there you go. So no, we would not have taken this trade. Absolutely not. And so this is where my take profit was. And what was the duration? So what was the duration? 16 pips for a take profit. And what was my stop loss? Well, tonight is about training. Tonight is training. 35 pips. So that's not even a good risk to reward. But however, where does my PSAR tell me? My PSAR says the stop loss is down here somewhere. My PSAR says my stop loss is down here somewhere. So this is where my stop loss is, okay? This is where my stop loss is, all right? That's what I need for you all to understand. That's where my stop loss is. So if that's where my stop loss is, now are you guys working with me and understanding why we use a PSAR? So why do we use a PSAR? So you're seeing it in real time, all right? You're seeing it in real time. That's what you're seeing. Okay. So let me see if I want to pull something else up. So we know we wouldn't have taken that, or we would have just grabbed it for a little bit. And that's our GBP USD, but I can write over this because we won't need it. So let's just look at something that we are, did I pull up the wrong one? Oh, it's AP, that's what I typed. So as we look at this on the hour, same thing. So I don't care what you want to trade, okay? I don't care. And so you guys know we've been calling, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because I won't be here to tell you, hey, go look at Apple, go look at Amazon, go do this, go do that, okay? You're the signal. If I can't lead with anything else for the holiday season is other than the fact that you are the signal. So this follows the same thing, all right? Same thing. Blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum. Green candle with a flat bottom, PSAR flip to the bottom, okay? So now, of course, this is closed. This is a difference with trading anything on the stock market compared to the indices. Indices, the contracts, the indices, the futures, all of that moves at night still. So we're able to continue to trade that like we just had the US 30 trade up. Right now, we're looking at Apple. That's on the stock market. We have to wait for the morning bell in order to capture that. So I can't trade it right now. That's the difference. I cannot trade it right now, but I can trade it in the morning. So you have to be mindful and understanding of the stock market hours. That's what you have to be, that you just have to, if you're going to trade it, you have to know that the market is going to close. So this is not a 24-hour thing. It's only during the duration of the market. So you would like to, let's go for it. So trade it, get in your demo account, do it. So, but I just want you to be mindful of that. So if you don't close your trade, you haven't hit your take profit, you're going to be in that. You cannot close the trade when the market closes. You will be in it until the morning. You will be in it until that bell rings at 9:30. So if you stay in this trade, you're going to be in the trade past the bell closing in the evening. So blue line cross over the red, time frame fluence, right? Haha, don't take it right there. Not on the hour, don't take it right there. And then ultimately it went up some and it pulled back. So that's what happened. So I wouldn't have been able to take it there until I was over here somewhere. Now on the 15-minute chart, we already know we have time frame confluence on the hour. So you definitely see where we have that green candle flat bottom, PSAR flip to the bottom, blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum. We have all of that. Drop down to the 5-minute. Drop down to the 5-minute. It needs to still be buying. Are we buying? Are we buying? Are we curving up in that buy? Absolutely. And then we had a nice little spike over there, but absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And you probably would have caught that. So let me come back up here and check where my confluence was at. Did we lose that? Did we lose it? Here we go. I'm like, what in the world? I told you guys, that's what I need for you all to do over the holidays. If you don't do anything else, you pray for my Zoom to act right. I'm affirming. I'm a Zoom expert. My Zoom is cooperative. So I'm affirming. Okay, here we go. So now you say you too. So here we go. So we're going to come back over here. And I'm gonna move this. Oh, I want to be on the hour. That's what I was doing, coming to the hour. And when I come to the hour, so that's where we had that confluence. I was going to the 4 hour from there to check where the confluence would have happened. So would confluence have happened here? No, because we're still in that downward momentum. That's a red candle. So it would have happened somewhere around here. Thank you, thank you. You see I'm logged in twice, just in case. So you can definitely see you would have had a trade on the 15, and then you come back up, we would definitely would have had a trade on the hour. And then of course, what do we trade to? Obviously, this is a support and resistance line right here, but because we're trading on a higher time frame, you're able to look left, and there is no left. Once again, we're in that territory where there is no left. So our first support resistance line is here, and then that's where you have to look, and you trust the process, because we're in that new territory where our 4 hour would have taken us up. And when that stochastic start turning, you get out of the trade. Okay, you get out of the trade. So before we close out this evening, we went over a lot. Questions, comments, testimonies. I try to make sure I answered every question that came up throughout the duration of the call. But tonight, drop your questions in the chat. I want to make sure I answer your questions. Drop your questions in the chat, because tonight was about making sure you're empowered. It's about making sure you understand the power of you and the power of the strategy. So you can take any tool that IM has to offer. You can take any tool, any currency, anything. You can take anything, apply it, be that master trader. That's who you are. Be the signal. That's who you are. So that's what you want to be, and that's what you want to manifest in your life. So, thank you. Fantastic teaching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So thank you for training me to be the signal. You are absolutely welcome. It is phenomenal, and it is an honor to actually do that. You're excited? I'm excited for you too. So this is what I want you all to do. If you still have a question, drop it in there. I promise I'll answer it. We only have a few minutes left, but drop that question in the chat. But I mean, other than buying your book, so let me tell you, you have to buy your book. So you have to buy your book. So go buy your books. BeYourOwnBankMovement.com. BeYourOwnBankMovement.com. So which YouTube video is there? It's really the title is Support and Resistance. It's in a playlist, market structure. But if you're on a computer and not your phone, on the channel you can search within the YouTube videos. So if you're actually on a computer, now, because you know, if you put anything in the search bar, it's going to go to the entire YouTube. But if you put it in the search bar, there's a search bar by the videos, and you can actually search specific to our channel. So the title is Support and Resistance. So you'll see it in there. So you definitely see it in there. But you know, you all are, BeYourOwnBankMovement.com. Get a copy of your book. We know Christmas next week. We're still looking at, the personalized message, dropping in there. Give the gift that keeps on giving. It's all about the power of the education. It's all about power of education. Tesla works the same way. Tesla works the exact same way. The same way we just pulled up Apple, Tesla is going to work the same way. You always hear us pull Tesla up every single morning. It's going to do the same exact thing. So it's going to do the same exact thing. So you just guys want to make sure that you get in there. Now, I am personally, you heard Mr. Rogers at the beginning of the call, but I am also going to tell you all thank you. I'm going to tell you all thank you, because I'm honored to be here with you each and every single day. It is definitely an honor to see the growth that happens in individuals, to see, the transition that happens, and to watch you all grow, just from your personal trade accounts to everything, and to see, what has really excited me over these last few weeks is the legacy shift. We've been here, we're doing this, and it's for you all. When we say 1 million families financially educated and impacted, we mean it. We mean it from the bottom of our hearts. And so to be able to see legacy transformation happening, to see children now attached to their parents' hips that are on these calls. And the one that's excited me and the one that stands out for the last few weeks is 11-year-old. And he's in here, he's in the chat, he's on the call right now. So Dion, let me give you a shout out, because at 11 years old, just imagine if you would have been 11. And let me tell each and every last one of you all something. Everything is about you and your personal development. Everything is about you and your mindset. If you think about the mind of a child, you think about how quickly he embraced this. You think about how quickly, we just put a video out where he said, increase your lot size, increase your lot size. Just think about that. A child absorbs, a child absorbs, a child does not have barriers. A child does not say life happened. A child does not approach anything with a negative thought process. A child just goes for it. They do not fear anything. They don't even fear whoopings. So just think about that, that you'll whoop them and they'll do it again. They do not fear. They have a covenant with faith. They operate that when they say they're going to do it, they get it done. They do not have those blocks in their destiny. They don't have those blocks of their mindset. They don't have any of that in their way. They just don't. And that's the mind. That's why even scripturally it says you have to go back to a child. You have to have the mind of a child, like the childlike faith. That's what you have to have. And so that's what you have to be able to embrace. That's what you have to be able to just grab a hold of. Is you have to understand that believe what you're writing, believe what you're saying, believe what you're speaking, believe what you're manifesting over your life. You made a destiny decision. That is what you've made. And approach it like a child. So I'm excited because next year, 2021, we said 1 million families will be financially educated and impacted. So expect the new year to roll in strong, because this movement is founded on the word of God. This is it, everything that we do. So it's been declared and decreed. So there is nothing but expectancy of growth, manifestation of wealth. It is all of that in 1 million families is going to manifest and transpire next year. So you prepare yourself, prepare your mindset, prepare your hearts, prepare your trade accounts for nothing but exponential growth as we roll into the next year. That's a commitment. That's a commitment, not a resolution, because we don't do anything out of motivation. We do it all out of commitment to what we desire and what has been ordained over our life already. So with that being said, well, Mr. Rogers, I see that you are unmuted because I was about to transition this call.
Yeah,
Mr. Rogers?
I just wanted to add real quickly before we transition. For those of you who may or may not have taken on we mentioned Tesla real quickly here. That you can expect some movement with Tesla tomorrow, because they were just officially a part of the S&P 500 indice. So I'm not sure if you were made aware of that, but that officially came. As Tesla is now officially a part of the S&P 500 as well. So you can expect some movement. So just be mindful of that. So that's tremendous. So you can definitely want to be able to take advantage of that. So I just want to add that, because I'm not sure if you were aware that Tesla is not included in the S&P 500.
Awesome. Yes. And that's why we've been trading on this call. So now you all have to go